Listen, guys like us have a lot in common. We work hard, we get things done, we wake up clean, we come home dirty. But that's not all. Guys like us, real pros, we're safety obsessed. Now, anyone who makes a living turning bolts knows that an accident on the job can get you hurt. I'm not talking about paper cuts or even a smashed thumb. I'm talking about you or somebody you work with ending up in the hospital, or worse. Let me ask you a question. Who hasn't used the wrong tool every once in a while, or modified one to make it work for the job you're trying to get done? I have, but I've seen what happens when people choose speed over safety, and that's why I'm here to talk to you. But at the end of the day, it's up to us to make sure that we're using them in the right way. That means keeping them in great condition, inspecting them, and always using the right tool for the right job. Now, clearly, you don't need me to tell you how to do your job, just like I don't need anybody telling me how to do mine. But even a real pro can make a mistake, and the stakes are high. So, we could all use a refresher. Everybody knows not to use a hand socket on a power tool or impact gun, and here's why. Each kind of socket is manufactured with a different hardness that's specific to its function. Impact sockets are made of a softer metal that can absorb the shock and speed of an impact gun. Hand sockets aren't, even though they sometimes look the same. Now, I know what you're thinking. Hand sockets are chrome and impact sockets are black oxide, but that's not 100% true. Check out this black oxide socket. You think it's for an impact wrench? It's not. This one is for a ratchet, and even though it looks nearly identical, the decision to put this socket on an impact gun could blow up in your face. Literally. Because that socket's been designed for a ratchet, it's just not strong enough to stand up to the impact gun. When it shatters, one of those flying shards could cause serious injury. I don't have to tell you that wrenches are one of the most commonly used tools on the job, but that means they're also one of the most misused. Let's take a look and see what I mean. Now, you know not to use a cheater bar because it'll over-torque your wrench. That's Tool Safety 101. But there are a couple of other things to keep in mind. Now, there are as many different kinds of wrenches as there are jobs. Pipe wrenches, flare nut wrenches, ratcheting wrenches, and adjustable wrenches, for example. Always use the right wrench and the right size. And most of the time, a combination wrench is going to be your safest choice because it gives you the most contact with the fastener. Use the box end for loosening and final tightening. Use the open end for working a loose fastener. Now, if you can, use the combo wrench to break the fastener loose and then run it up with a ratchet. Or if you're tightening, you can run it down with a ratchet and do your final tightening with the box end of the combination wrench. You'll get a little more precision and control. Screwdrivers. They're made for loosening and tightening screws, but they have a funny way of becoming makeshift pry bars, chisels, and other tools on the job, and that can get you hurt. Screwdrivers are designed to take a twisting force, and a pry bar is designed to take a bending force. If you use one for the other, it could fail. Another thing that could get you hurt is using a screwdriver for its intended purpose the wrong way. Don't hold your work in one hand and the screwdriver in the other. We've all done it, but use a clamp or a vise instead. It takes a little more time, but it only takes one slip to puncture your hand. That's serious, but some mistakes with a screwdriver could even kill you, especially when working around electricity. Just because a screwdriver has a rubber handle, don't assume it's insulated against electricity. Most cushion grips are just designed for comfort. Any insulated tool will be marked that way, so look for the label. Slow down. It pays to use your head and be safety obsessed. Striking and struck tools are simple to use, but that doesn't mean they don't require skill. If you're not paying attention, they can do some damage. Now, consider this. A 16-ounce hammer, probably smaller than your morning cup of coffee, can deliver 3 tons of force per blow. Now imagine the damage these guys could do if used improperly. Steel ball-peen hammers, claw hammers, soft-faced hammers, composite hammers, rubber mallets, awls, chisels, punches. You get the idea. There are a lot of different striking tools with a variety of functions. You know what they are. And no matter which one you use, the first step is always the same. Choose the right tool for the right job. Wood chisels for wood. Masonry chisels for concrete and rock. Hardened cold chisels for steel. It's pretty self-explanatory. A little smart thinking can go a long way in keeping you safe and getting the job done right. Make sure that the hammer is the right size. Now that means that the striking face should always be at least 3/8 of an inch larger than the punch or chisel head. When you think about a tool that could hurt you, I'd bet a utility knife is one of the first things that come to mind. Now, everybody knows that using a blade that's too small or too dull is an accident waiting to happen. And leaving a knife unattended, or prying something open with a knife, or stashing one in your pocket could land you or a coworker in the ER. Don't be careless. Snips, cutters, utility knives, and other cutting tools give you the power to cut through all kinds of materials, from fine wires to heavy-duty materials. You don't want to be one of them. So put on your safety gear and always choose the right cutting tool for the job. First, check your surroundings. Make sure you have plenty of space around you. Otherwise, you could unintentionally slice someone behind you, or they could bump into you and cause you to cut yourself. Always consider a material's thickness when selecting a tool. Never rock the tool while cutting. Work evenly and steadily to minimize your own risk of getting cut. It's up to you to make sure they're the right ones every time and in the right condition to help you get the job done effectively and safely. Well, that's my time. Thanks for watching.